now that we're not doing this show and we're doing like cons together and Smallville nights and the podcast and we travel, it's like, it's fun. We're kind of like brothers. We just like, we get each other, we make each other laugh. It's easy. You know, I'm there for him. He's there for me.
We just try not to sit too close to each other.
Yeah.
It's like you could not put more distance.
I know.
I can't
We're so close. We're so close.
Let's welcome to the stage Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum. Just relax.
Well, that was worth it, let me tell you.
It was worth it. They are the best. This has been a fantastic
I can almost see everyone. I can almost see everyone.
I'm not that naive. I'm more than a bird. I'm more than a plane.
We need our camera lights.
Yeah, camera lights. Nobody does lighters anymore, do they?
To be me.
I wonder if you could use that for Inside of You.
It's
Oh, it's a little loud. It's not easy to be me, Inside of You.
Yeah, it's not always easy to be me, Tom.
Inside of You. 300 episodes and you scored him. You got him to say yes. Tell me about that.
He didn't give me a choice.
No, I bet you
No,
got
he
it.
told me I was going to do it.
Did he
didn't
really?
ask me.
I was like, dude, you were my first guest, and you're going to be my 300th guest.
I was like, I was on your show before?
I think he was on it 4 times.
I got blacked out.
Yeah. How many people listen Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum? Yes? If you haven't, you should listen to it. I interview celebrities, but they're real conversations, mental health, life, adversity. I think you'll really like it. Give it a shot. Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. And, of course, Talkville with Tom. The Rewatch podcast.
Such a great picture because the only thing in the background are empty seats.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You have a question way over there? That's because they were filled up with Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson.
That was an incredible panel. That was really awesome. I actually worked with you guys back in 2018, and it was also herding cats back then, too. I have...
More people then, too.
No,
We had Laura and stuff, didn't we?
No, it was just the two of you, and I actually have a photo, and I was trying to get a selfie with you guys, and you scattered like cats, and it's blurry, and I just see just part of your body, and you're kind of like, huh.
We don't really hang around.
No, but I'm going to try to make it happen.
We got to get back to the table to see real fans.
We'll get a picture after this, won't we?
I'm going to try.
No, we'll do it. We'll do it. Make sure
we'll see how
everybody
it goes.
we get a picture. Not everybody. That makes,
What
that'd
was
be
so
weird.
good about the Hayden Christensen panel? Was it full? Was every seat
Have you
taken?
heard of a show
Do
or a
we have
movie
to-
called Star Wars? It's only the biggest thing in the
seen all of
planet.
Star Wars.
I've seen everything. It's not all good, but a lot of it is. Well, wait a minute. You're telling me that every last show or movie or everything that's been Star Wars is all great? Come on. That's like saying every episode of Smallville is great. We know that's not the answer. I mean, there's
We
good.
had 10 years of it.
There's
for God's
good,
sake.
there's bad, there's in between, and there's shit. Let's be honest.
Have you ever talked about what you thought was what you didn't like on it?
Every episode of our podcast he talks
Oh,
about.
I talk about it. I'm very
Talkville.
honest. When I love something on the show, I'm like, hey, this is great. But when I don't like it, I'm pretty vocal.
My favorite is, because Michael likes to remind me when we're filming, because a lot of times I forget that we're going to do a podcast. So he always sends me a text like the day or something before. And recently he goes, these episodes are shit. That was the text. And it was like a reminder, like, oh yeah, we did a podcast tomorrow. I got to watch those episodes.
But sometimes I'll say, man, this is why we did the show. Because it's hard to make 22 episodes. Back then, we shot 22 episodes a year, so 10 months a year. The writers didn't have time to write great all the time. So you got a handful of great ones, handful of pretty good ones, handful of okay, and a handful of just, I wish that would disappear.
There were a couple times where we'd get to set and we'd be like, okay, this is the scene. You kind of read the scenes and you're like, okay, we're here to elevate the material.
Let's commit.
Let's commit to this.
Let's commit here.
I remember a lot of times Kristen, who we just had on the podcast, a lot of times with her, we would be in a scene or she'd do something and it'd be like cut and she'd be like, she's like, I know my assignment. That's what she kept saying. I know my assignment, but yeah.
I would say something like after a take, I go, that was great. And she goes, okay.
She didn't care.
Just,
Which podcasts on Talkville are more fun to do? The one where the episode, in your estimation, is garbage, or the ones where
garbage?
They're more fun, right? We love to trash talk.
I think he likes it when I get upset.
I do.
So when I'm there, I'm like, what is going on? What is she wearing that tattoo for? Why does she just nothing to do with what's going on here? And he gets so,
I love
he just enjoys watching me get upset.
Well, we have it's like high pressure, low pressure. Like when Michael's upset, I get happy for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like mean. I want to help him if he's upset. But even on Smallville, many times I would not be in the best mood and he'd come in a worse mood and all of a sudden I feel better. It's like when somebody complains about the same thing that you want to complain about, it relieves it. So, and
does
Michael
he push
keeps
your buttons?
Michael keeps a lot hidden. He doesn't express himself very much. So
we've learned not to really push each other's buttons. There's not, it's like, he knows me. If, last night I'm like, it's 10 o'clock, I better go to bed. And he's like, yeah, there he goes.
No, he goes like this. We're all sitting there. We're all sitting there having fun, a couple drinks, some food, and he's got his phone on and he's watching a hockey game. So he's in and out of the conversation, and then he goes, all right, that's it.
You did, West. Well,
he just leaves. And we're all, okay.
You know what's funny, besides clowns? When I go, I've learned this. I'm not one of those people that you're at a party or a gathering and you have to say, I got to say goodbye to everybody.
You're not.
No, I'm like, I just go.
do you know what I call it? I call it the piss-appear. I have to go to the bathroom and then I ninja smoke right out of there.
You don't need to say goodbye to anybody. You showed up. If it's a birthday party, happy birthday. You're off to the next person. I'm out. I like to get there right when the party starts. Right there, I'm there, first one there. And they're like, oh my God, he's here.
First one in, first one out.
Out. Get out. If you come late, you got to stay late. It ruins your next day. You're pissed off at the person whose birthday it is. No good.
Happy birthday. Now I have to go see you?
Yeah.
I don't actually listen to many podcasts, but yours is one that I have subscribed to. And I seek out those conversations that you're having with actors who I find interesting. Your recent one with Katie Sackhoff, she now lives, I've known her for years just because we live near each other and I know her mom and that sort of stuff. I'm curious from you, especially in hearing this 300th episode, you talked about how you weren't as close initially on the show, that your friendship post-show has really deepened.
I mean, Liz, we all got along. The whole cast got along. I was there all the time, and these guys would come in for a day or two here and there. There just was no time to hang out. And a lot of, you lived in LA for many years, so you were either at work or you were on a plane going home. And the last thing you want to do on the weekend is see anybody you work with all week.
Yeah, imagine, because he was literally working 14 hours a day every day. So he was just it's like you see him every day and he's exhausted and trying to stay afloat. And so I get it. So if people ask me, they're like, hey, how do you get along with Tom? I go, great. He's great. I love Tom. Yeah. But I went to his wedding, which didn't work out, but the new one did. I love his new wife. And who was the one? I
know, it's awkward.
No, it's not. Who was the one who told you, hey, do not get married?
You did.
I did. I was the only one that said, don't do it.
What are you doing?
I go, what are you doing? Know. You're Superman. You're 25 years old. Enjoy. And then he got married and,
Yeah.
But you learn, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is now that we're not doing this show and we're doing cons together and Smallville nights and the podcast and we travel, it's fun. We're kind of like brothers. We just we get each other. We make each other laugh. It's easy. I'm there for him. He's there for me.
We just try not to sit too close to each other.
Yeah.
It's you could not put more distance.
I know.
I can't
We're so close. We're so close.
you're married, your wife is an equestrian, she loves horses. I'm a former horse girl, so are you horse guy? Have you always been? Like, do you get roped into mucking stalls and picking hooves?
I'm a pretty good farm hand.
Nice.
Ranch hand, for sure.
I like it, good. Yeah. I was curious about that.
I don't do as much as the riding as she does, but yeah, I mean, we live on a ranch, and we got dogs and kids and horses.
It's a good life.
His place is beautiful. It's like, it is. It feels like, I'm jealous. I look at it and I'm like, I'm just, alone.
No, you have your dogs. Is it Blanche and Charlie?
No, I have dogs. Yeah, Blanche. I mean, I have great friends and things, but like I look at it, and his place, and it's in the middle of like nowhere with the mountains, and it's beautiful, and it's nice.
Well, you're also a little bit of a homebody. I mean, last night
I'm a homebody.
You mentioned to me that you're going on a trip to Italy with your friends, and I was like, wait, what? You're going someplace? You're actually going someplace?
I know, I never leave, and I'm forcing myself now to do a trip every year as long as I live.
Good.
Because time goes by.
Yep.
You just got to do it because you keep procrastinating, and you're going to end up being old and going, man, what did I do with my life?
Well, and also some of what we do in our profession, and 99% of the time requires travel. So a lot of times we go to a lot of places, but it's work related. And so when you're not working, you kind of want to be at home. And it is hard to kind of be like, I'm just going to go and spend all this money, and because traveling is expensive, as you guys know. So, oh boy, here we go.
You said, here we go.
Yeah, watch this.
Diarrhea.
He's done this before.
Explosive diarrhea. Do you like saying diarrhea? No.
She's not really saying it? She's not signing it?
She's like, no. No, she
good for you.
She said, do I like diarrhea? And then she looked at me and goes, no, I don't.
Oh.
I love it.
You have given me the most perfect segue.
Oh, boy.
Diarrhea?
Absolutely. So,
brought to you by Imodium.
I have a fan question from John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite.
He's one of my best friends. We're doing a show called Scared with Michael Rosenbaum, John Heater, where we go to the scariest places in the world and two jokers like us. And so we're hoping to film that this year.
Oh, that's fun, like ghost tours of New Orleans and stuff?
But it's going to be really funny because I, like a lot of shit, I get scared. He'll be like, it's not even real, gosh. I'm like, no, dude, it is, man. You didn't feel that cold air? Yeah, because someone opened a door, you idiot, gosh.
So I've known him for years. We live near each other. I travel a ton for work, on 140 days out of the year. So when I'm home, I stay home. Yeah. One of these days, he and I are going to get coffee. But I texted him. I said, got your buddy on the panel today. Do you have a question? And he said, I do. Tell the story about when you tried to charm Helen Slater with the fart jokes, and she was having none of it.
Yeah. I just remember her, I said something, she goes, yeah, no, I don't like that. I go, no, farts are funny. She goes, no, they're not. And I go, oh, all right, next question. It was just a fun, comfortable moment. But I love Helen, it was great, but she some people just aren't like.
She's not going to buy your book?
Yeah, like this guy right up here up front. He doesn't really like talking about farts, right, sir? With the beard? Richard Dreyfuss guy? You don't like farts, right? I could tell. You're like, move on to the next question. Get Hayden Christensen back here. He's respectful. He doesn't talk about farts. He talks about force.
Is that what he means? Farts. The force be with you?
May the force be with you.
All you got to do is just wind him up and just off. I love this. To answer your question, what made that panel last night great was talking about fandoms and whether people love something or hate something is to watch their arc swing. And I'm a fan of Hayden and his work. So it was really nice to see him just get that love that you guys get when you get up on the stage.
But was every seat taken?
You don't want to know the answer to that.
I bet there were people in the back standing up.
All right, I'll dip in and out of questions from the audience here, and we'll get to them. I'm going to start on this side over here, because Jeff is at the mic, and Jeff has been first to the mic for so many panels, and I love him. Hi, Jeff.
Jeff, hey.
Hi, Steph.
What I will say this before you say anything, Jeff, is if you can make your questions just one question and fast, we'll get to more people. So here we go, Jeff.
Okay, Tom Welling. My question to you is, how was it like working with Christopher Reeves on Smallville?
Awesome.
This is going to be a lightning round.
No, you can. No, he was actually really funny. We had a really good time. He stayed a lot longer than he was supposed to. His nurse actually told him that she was going to call the police if he didn't leave with her, because she had power of attorney over his situation, obviously. And I think he was only supposed to be there for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and he was there for like 6 hours. And she's like, you got to go. And so he was like, she's telling me to leave. It was pretty funny. We had a good time.
Thank you. Next question.
Thanks, Jeff. Hi, what's your name?
Nate.
What's your, who is your childhood hero?
Who's your childhood hero? My grandfather, Irv, was my childhood hero. He was the best part of my life. Listened to me, unconditional love, cared about me, wrote letters to me, and just was always proud of me, and that helped me.
Yeah. You got good stories about him. He loved you. Yeah. Childhood hero. No one comes to mind, unfortunately, Nate. Maybe Maverick from Top Gun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
By the way, speaking of farts,
Nate,
my
your dad?
grandfather, I would fart. He goes, what is that? And I go, I farted. He goes, you think people want to hear that? You're not going to get anywhere in life if you do that. He was always so funny. All right, next question.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks,
Hi.
Nate.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Joan, and I really like the Native American element in Smallville. And my question is, regarding Legend of Naman, what if Lex's interpretation is right, that Lex is the hero and Clark Kent is the villain? What do you think of that?
Agreed. Thank you, Joan.
Thank you, Joan. Hi, come right on up to the mic, too, so we can hear you. Hi, what's your name?
Hey, Claudia.
Hey, Michael.
Good to see you, Claudia.
You too. This question is for you, Michael. Out of all the characters that you've played, which character would you say you've related to the most in real life?
Sorority boys.
I think Lex in a way. If when people don't believe in you and you have to prove them wrong all the time. I've been through that. So
With a trustworthy relationship with the father.
Yeah, just in general. I wouldn't say that. I would just say, I'm not, without mentioning any names, I think, Lex I could relate to Lex a little bit. Thanks, Claudia.
Thank you.
How about you, sir?
Good
What's your
afternoon.
This better be a great question. I could feel it.
Okay, first of all, I love listening to your Talkville podcast.
Yes, thank you.
And second of all, do you plan on covering the season 11 comics of Smallville for your podcast?
The what?
Season 11 comic book tie-in to Smallville.
Oh.
We've never seen it. We'll have to see when we get there. I'm really looking forward to when Michael's character leaves the show, but he still has to do the podcast.
Okay.
That is
going to be nightmarish.
I hope you guys talk about Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern in season 11.
I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe Talksville will go into the comic books. Maybe. Who knows? If people watch and support the show and patrons keep supporting, maybe we'll do that. Who knows? We just take season by season.
I think we should we could also move into Star Wars. We do a Star Wars podcast.
I don't think anybody would care about what we had to say about Star Wars.
It would be epic, actually.
I'd be like, first one was awesome, second one was awesome, third one was all right. Prequels, all right. I love Mandalorian. Boba Fett was, Obi-Wan was pretty cool. That's all I've watched so far. Go ahead, young lady.
Hi.
Over the course of Smallville, not to mention your careers, you've both played more heroic or more villainous characters, so do you have a preference and why?
Well, when I was on Lucifer, I played a guy who wasn't so nice. And what I found in that, when you have more tools to use in your performance, sometimes when you're playing, quote unquote, the villains. I mean, villains never think they're the villain, number one. But I felt like there was just, I felt like I had more tools to play with going into that. Whereas Clark just kind of stood there and didn't know what was going on.
You know, I think this might sound a little cocky. But
if you gotta say that first.
I think, I don't know, I think playing villains for me, or playing dramatic characters, is easier for me. I mean, I like playing funny, just ridiculous characters too, but I just, there's something about connecting to someone who's really flawed, because we're all flawed. I love that. And I try to make it really believable and grounded. I like playing the bad guy. It's fun.
Bad guys always seem to have a clear agenda as well.
Yeah.
So you kind of know where you're going. Where comedy, which I don't have any experience with really, but you're sort of, I would imagine you're out there and there's no right or wrong to it. It's a different headspace.
Yeah, because you're trying to do what you think's funny, and the director's like, oh, let's do this, and but when you're playing like Lex, nobody really told me what to do. I just trusted my instincts on that, and it was, So.
Well, they trusted you. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you didn't
I think they trusted me. And it took a long time for me to really trust myself, because I was a goofball and I was doing these sitcoms and funny movies, and all of a sudden I'm shaving my head and I'm playing this badass villain. And I was nervous because my whole life I'm like, no one's going to take me seriously. I'm the goofball. How do I pretend to be cool? I'm not cool. And then once you give in and just say, I am this guy, then it's great. But I had to fake it for a bit. I had to sort of just really trust my instincts.
Can you go back to those early episodes and see it?
Yeah.
Really?
The first season, I could look at some episodes in the beginning, and I just felt like you weren't completely confident in yourself. But I think that just took a little time. And also, I wasn't supposed to be the bad guy right away, right? So I didn't have all these ulterior motives, and I didn't have all this darkness and these flashbacks. And so, I don't know, but it worked. I guess it worked, but I could see scenes where I'm nervous. And I'm like, no one else could, but I could see them. There's certain moments I'm like, oh my gosh, you were nervous there.
Which one? I'm just curious for folks who love
There's a scene where I'm in the barn in episode 2 with Lana. And I remember I didn't have the confidence. It was like I was trying to be stoic but charming, and I was trying to navigate it. And I don't know. For me, I just was like, oh, they're gonna fire me. They're gonna fire me. I know it. And they didn't. Thank God.
One of the longest running shows out there in the history of shows.
Yeah.
Hi, question over here.
Hi. I have a question for Michael. My name is Julia.
Julia Gulia.
Yeah, that's right. So I love your podcast Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Besides the gentleman sitting on the sofa next to you, who is someone that you've enjoyed interviewing so much on that show?
I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, I had Keanu Reeves on. He came to the house. He was great. John Rhys Davies is coming on. He came on, so it's going to air. Billy D. Williams, Lando was at my house.
You called me and told me that was fun.
I was so excited. Nicholas Hoult, who's the new Lex, he just came on, and that went viral. And a lot of just people who open up. Like Mark Shepard just talked about almost dying and having those 5 heart attacks, and actually he did die, and he got a little emotional. But when people are really open and talk about mental health and their lives, I really love that. But there's so many great guests.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
Being a homebody, is it, and this certainly applies to me, I'm very particular about who I invite into my home, and you just have this constant stream. How does that feel for you as a homebody?
I have an alarm system, 2 dogs, a gun. Spiked fence, everything's, I usually, I'm not going to invite someone that I think is a little bit sketchy. I try not to do that.
There's also other people there.
Yeah, there's people, my engineer, and I have an assistant, so people are at the house.
That's awesome. Hi, question over here.
I'm Calvin, I love you dudes. So 10 seasons of Smallville, you work 14 hours a day, you really become these characters. How'd you handle that initial, what do I do now, period, after the show ended?
Oh, I couldn't wait for the show to end, to be honest.
10 years, 200 and some episodes.
It was like, I think the beginning of season 10, I actually had a conversation with the other producers, and I was like, so the last day, I don't want to be in the last scene. And they're like, we got months to go. I'm like, no, I'm telling you right now, I don't want to do that. I want to be done. I don't need to be done before lunch, but I do not want to be in the last scene that we shoot, because it's going to get stupid and crazy, and it's going to go too
emotional,
long.
and people will be clapping.
And they're going to keep shooting all day until they're done, which could be, 18 hours. And so I was able to get them to wrap me before lunch. And really what happened was we were like, okay, that's a series wrap on Tom Welling. And it was like, yeah. And the AD goes, all right, we're in the wrong set. And everybody went that way. And I got in my car and I drove back home. It was really simple. It was great.
I actually wanted to be in the last scene of the day. Really milk it. Oh, guys, speech. No, it was very sad. When it's all over, you're happy. You're like, it's done, but also it's like, this is our family too. It was like, it hits you later, really. Go ahead.
So,
Thanks.
My name's Katrina. I've got my sister Mercy on FaceTime. But, so, like, Tom, you played Clark, and Michael, you voiced Flash in Justice League. Before you, played or voiced these respective characters, did you have a favorite character in the DC universe before the characters that you played?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really follow many characters.
No, there was one character that you always...
Oh, Batman, yeah, but it's...
Batman, let's go!
But it wasn't like I knew of Batman. I've never read a comic book in my life, but...
You should.
But yeah, there's probably a few out there to reference, I'd imagine. But yeah.
I always wanted to say, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
That would be so cool, and then anybody could really do that.
Well, I got my 2-year-old son to say it because I would hold Batman and he'd go, I'm Batman. He didn't even know what he was saying, but he would change his voice for it. Yeah, because the first time I ever showed him Batman, I went, I'm Batman. And so it's cute. He says it now too, it's great.
I love it, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, question over here.
Hello. My name is Tiffany. I have lots of friends who are diehard Smallville fans, and we all have one opinion in common, and that is that Lana is the worst. And I want to know what you think.
Lana is a beautiful character played by a wonderful, beautiful, talented actress.
No shade to Kristen, just Lana.
Just not Kristen, Lana. Well, I think she was also frustrated, Kristen, with, playing a character that's just caught in this love triangle. It gets redundant. It gets the same. So that's, yes. And she gets stronger as the series goes on, thankfully, and she has her moments. But, yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I get you feel that way. Quit twisting my words.
Thanks, Tiffany.
I agree.
Thanks.
Hi, question over here.
Hello, my name is Joseph, and my question for Michael is there was this Justice League Unlimited episode where Lex Luthor and the Flash switch brains, but you're still the Flash, you're still voicing the Flash, but you're now Luthor. So my question is what was it like to basically be voicing another version of Lex Luthor while playing that Luthor in Smallville?
It was a blast. It was called The Great Brain Robbery with Clancy Brown, who's brilliant, and we just had fun doing it. It was such a weird thing where we switched characters, and he was in the room with me, and we did it, and it was odd. I didn't really know what I was doing, but it worked out. It turned out to be one of the favorite episodes, but it was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next question.
Hi, my name is Tyler, and I wanted to ask how it was when your characters on Smallville were playing against the norm, being possessed by Zod, being Bizarro, being on Red Kryptonite.
In some ways it was fun because it mixed things up and you get to just do something different than you do before. The Red K stuff was always fun because my sort of way into him was that he just didn't have any consequences for anything, or he didn't care about consequences. So he wasn't bad, he just didn't care what happened next. He could just keep doing what he was doing, and that was fun because Clark is not that.
Zod, I just felt like an idiot. It was like wearing this giant trench coat, and they had me on these wires, and I had to come down to Clark, and I just kept twisting the wires, and I was trying to be cool, and I'm like, God damn it. And finally I get there, and Tom's laughing, and the camera's on me, and I'm like, kneel to Zod. I mean, I was like, what are we doing? And I thought it was funny. I thought, because I saw on paper that Zod, I'm playing Zod too. I told Tom, I go, hey, I'm going to get paid twice for this. He goes, no, you're not.
I don't think it works that way.
You're just playing another. I'm like, I'm not getting paid twice. I'm playing a different character here. He's like, no, you're not.
At least we didn't have to play one of those witches.
Yeah.
I'll get you, my Clarky. Little dog, too.
Next question.
Hi guys, my name is Maya. Thank you so much for coming out for the fans. I really appreciate it. I wanted to know, both of you got to direct Smallville episodes. Did you enjoy directing? Did it influence your acting choices afterwards? And did you like directing each other?
That's 3 questions.
Sorry.
How dare you?
I loved it. It was a lot of fun, especially I direct virtually everything I directed. I was also in, so I really liked the scenes that I wasn't in, so I could really just like direct the other actors. And you know, I noticed that the cast really wanted to help, and like they bring a little extra effort because they support you. And it was great that we already knew each other for years, so we had a rapport that a lot of directors who come in and do episodes don't get to have. I really enjoyed it, and there's something magical about watching an actor and then giving them a note and then seeing it happen. It's magical. It's really cool.
Yeah, and Tom was really great at it. I really, learned to trust him, and I knew he had my back. So it was always fun working with him, and I loved it because it gave me the tools. It was like a crash course in filmmaking. I directed then a short, and I directed my feature film, and now I'm going to try and direct a horror movie, and it just gave me that foundation, and it was awesome. We learned a lot. If you wanted to learn, you could learn, and you could ask questions, and you can really get an experience. But many actors just want to hit their mark, say their lines, and go home. And we kind of just were interested in what the directors were doing and how everybody operated. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carlos from Mexico, and by the way, I learned a lot of my English through the show, so thank you guys for educating me.
Bienvenidos a los Estados Unidos, Lex Luthor.
And speaking of that, there's actually a theory in Mexico that Lex was actually a good-hearted guy, but he became a villain because Clark never trusted him and never gave him a chance to. So what do you guys think of that?
Senor.
No, wait a second.
Si, senor.
What did you call that room that Lex has with other pictures of Clark? He shows Clark his room, and he's got like his headshot in
Yeah, I have this secret room where it's all pictures of Clark in there.
Yeah. So that was before Clark really started lying.
Yeah, but I was just interested in like what, but I agree with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question over here.
Hi, my name is Marissa. What was it like for you to film your scene as Clark Kent from Smallville?
What is it?
Smallville as Clark Kent.
It was fun. I didn't reference it at all that he knew he was going to be Superman. I just can't think about that. So I just tried to play him as a high school kid who's trying to figure out who he is and his place in the world. And, I guess in some ways I didn't want to overthink it. In fact, it was a lot of fun. Even years later when we had like Martian Manhunter on the show, I was like, I don't know who that guy is. And Clark didn't either, so it was perfect.
That's right, yeah. All of a sudden these people come up, I go, who the hell is Black Canary? Why has she got makeup on? Who the hell is this character? Is this a Halloween special?
I remember when we had Hawkman, and I was like, oh boy. Because those wings are so annoying from a practical standpoint on set. Like, they got to put them on, they got to move them out, I'm like, this is taking forever with these damn wings. I'm like, what the hell? And the actor's like, you're telling me I don't even have a shirt on, but I have wings. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Next question.
Hi there, guys. My name is Rowena. Thank you so much for doing the Talkville podcast. I love watching the show completely, and then hearing you guys talk about Smallville on the, like the behind-the-scenes stuff is so awesome. My question for you guys is, who would be a person that you would invite for a dinner, special dinner, and what would it be?
Anybody?
Anybody.
Two questions.
Okay, who would be your
Who would
person?
you invite for dinner, Tom?
Like anybody?
Anybody.
I bet you'd invite Jack Nicholson.
That would be fun.
Could you pass me the goddamn potatoes?
I would,
You were Superman, huh?
I would have Jack Nicholson, but then I would call Joe Pesci and have him join.
That I know because you have stories.
Yeah, the
that
three
would
of us would have fun. Yeah.
I would definitely have Chris Farley over. I loved Chris Farley. He was the funniest man in the history of funny. I got to hang out with him. First time I met him, I told Tom this story. I've told this story, but like I was doing a crappy sitcom. It was the worst sitcom in history, and I was doing my lines, and it was a studio audience, and all of a sudden everyone starts laughing, and I'm like, they can't be laughing at me. My lines are not funny. And then I look over, and Chris Farley's like walking through the audience, going, "How are you? Good to see you. Oh, look at that." And I just go, "Oh my God, it's Chris Farley. I got to do something." So I'm standing there, and I go, "Hey, everybody, it's the big fat guy taking all the attention away from the little comedian who's starting his career." And Farley looks over in his coat. He's got a sport coat. He goes, "That's it." Runs over and he picks me up over his shoulder and he starts smacking me on my ass, carrying me through the audience, and he makes everybody in the audience smack my ass. And it was the best experience of my life. I felt like you made it, dude. You made it. Farley loves you. It was awesome. I'd invite him. Next question.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Carolyn. My question is for the both of you and about Lana Lang being the triangle love interest between your two characters. It was just really interesting how she, in more ways, trusted Lex more than she trusted Clark, especially since Clark had to hide his secret and felt like he couldn't trust her for so long. And then Lex, I'm sorry.
What's the question?
Lex made the ultimate, the worst thing he could have done was lie about her pregnancy.
5 minutes.
So I just wanted your thoughts on that.
I didn't understand why she liked Lex, because Lex had his secrets too, and he was always doing things that you were like skeptical of. So both of us had those qualities, I guess you could say. But bald is beautiful, brother.
But wasn't Lana only just manipulating Lex the whole time?
Yeah, maybe I forgot. We'll have to watch the show. We're watching it now, so maybe ask me that question in a couple of years. Thanks. Next question.
We have just a couple minutes left.
Yeah, we got to hurry. Next question, fast.
Hi, I'm Brendan. I'm a big fan. I wanted to ask, there's a lot of revivals going on. Would you guys consider doing a season 11, even if it was animated?
Yeah.
If it was animated.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Next question.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeff. Just want to say me and my wife Marisol, big fans of the show. So much so, we named our kids Lana and Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
But the question I have is for Tom Welling. It's actually a question from my wife, who has a big crush on you still, probably. Her question is, what was your workout routine during your seasons at Smallville? By the way, she's right over there, if you want to know.
I know that he biked to work a lot.
Yeah, I would. At the beginning, I was just young, but I got into, with the stunts that we were doing, I ended up getting in touch with a guy who taught me how to, he taught me how to fight on camera, because you're not hitting the other person, but there's angles to it where, you swing across the body. And as I was training with him, we would get into boxing, and then we got into kickboxing, and then I became friends with some of the guys he worked out. So I would go on the weekends sometimes and do like these 2-3 hour like workouts with a lot of stunt guys. And that was all fun. But during the week, there was no time. So what I did a couple years into the show is I started riding my bike to work, which was basically uphill for, I think the fastest I ever went there was 32 minutes. And then at night I would ride home and kind of relax on the way down. So besides that, I just was like 20 years younger.
Hey, Tom.
That was a big part of it.
Diarrhea, explosive diarrhea,
Oh my God.
explosive diarrhea. I love you. You're amazing. Give it up for our...
I like
Thank you.
That was really good. All right, we have time for one more, maybe.
Hi, my name's Nora. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Maura.
Throughout the 10-year series, was there anything that you guys felt that you took away for your personal lives? Maybe something, maybe not, but what was the biggest takeaway that you had or a lesson that you learned?
I'm just super grateful. As you get older, you really learn your gratitudes. You have to say your gratitudes and be grateful. And it was an amazing experience. And I'm lucky. I'm really lucky. I think we're both lucky. We're here with you guys. We're still celebrating the show and the time we had on it. And you can't get luckier than that. And if this is as lucky as I get, I'm really happy.
I think I agree with that. And I think I didn't realize at the time, but I think looking back, trying to be more aware of not choosing to suffer when you really don't have to. Like you can choose to suffer a lot of times when it's not necessary and it's a waste of time. And I think a lot of my motivation while we were on the show was through anxiety and anger in a way in order to focus. And I've tried over the years to realize that's such a waste of energy. Like, why do I have to get angry in order to focus? And that's something that I think has evolved since the show.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We're growing up.
I
We're
love
growing
this.
up right in front of you.
Can I try this selfie? Can we do it?
Oh, here we go. I gotta go.
No, come on, you guys. Smile. All right, guys, give it up, please.
Hang on,
for
everybody
Michael
get up.
Rosenbaum and Tom Welling.
Hi, this is Aaron Ashmore, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe like now. Oh, and have fun and follow your fandom.